on the Medical Mysteries Sources activity, which can be found at the end of this medical research playlist. It's this one right here. And ultimately, this is one you need to be doing before you begin taking notes, because you really need to collect information on your sources and make sure you're using the correct sources during your research. This is going to consist of two parts, this lesson here. Number one, we're going to talk about credible sources, what makes for a good source, what makes for a good information. And then we're going to be doing some things with, depending on your level. So if you're level 7 or 8, you might have different things to do. So please make sure that in your activity or in your Empower activity, you're following all directions. To begin with, we're going to talk about credible sources. Is the place you're finding information from reliable, believable? Is it trustworthy? For this example here, I'm going to be using something for research for a disease called Graves' disease. And so we'll use this and we'll use Google. So I'm going to be showing you examples of what this stuff looks like. So to begin with, is it on topic? Does it actually address what you're looking for? If I'm looking for information on Graves' disease, obviously I'm not going to go to something that is off topic. But all of these, it looks like they have Graves' information. So I think all of these are going to be good. And I can imagine that you'll Google and find something that's really off topic. Second, is it current? Are these new? And does that even matter? When it comes to medical information, it definitely matters. We're finding out new things every single day when it comes to some of these. And so you're definitely going to want to make sure that it's relevant and new. This one right here, June 14th, 2022. This is definitely a new source from the Mayo Clinic. So I think that I could do that. Some of these ones, not sure. It doesn't have a date. When I come in, I should be able to click on it. Oftentimes you can find things that have to do with dates. Maybe if you scroll all the way down on the bottom, it'll tell you when this was published. Look, last reviewed November 2021. That's good. If this were from the 80s or 90s, we might have a problem, right? But we don't. This is good to go. So just check. Make sure your information is relevant and new. Is the author an expert? A lot of these websites aren't necessarily going to have an author. This wasn't written by a single person. So as I go down and I'm looking at this, I don't see a specific person who wrote it. And that's going to be an interesting conundrum that you're going to have to look through and figure out. Sometimes, like this one is the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases and Graves' disease. It's an autoimmune disorder. It's about thyroid gland in our immune system. Not to say that they're not the best people who are on that, because ultimately, I suppose kidneys have to do with endocrine diseases and stuff. So this would work out. Anyways, just thinking about that. Who wrote it? Are they experts? And so I think generally then it goes to things like, is the website, is the organization experts? This right here, the mayoclinic.org. Well, if you're not quite sure, Mayo Clinic is a very prestigious and well-known medical clinic. And so they are credible. And generally the top ones that you're going to get here are going to be credible. I'm looking for this thyroid.org or clevelandclinic.org. Probably Mount Sinai. That's a famous one. But what if you don't know? Well, I don't know. Some of these, endocrineweb.com. This doesn't totally seem like it might be the best. Let's check. When I click in on here, am I seeing a lot of advertisements? Do I feel like they're trying to sell me something? It's got Graves facts. Although when I don't like this. They're trying to sell me a cat t-shirt. That's not going to be the best site. The site's trying to sell me and make money. The site's not trying to inform me. So maybe not the best, most credible source, not experts. I'm listening on the author's purpose. Are they trying to persuade or promote or sell or entertain? This website's trying to make money. But when I come back, maybe out this one here. This one was the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. That's pretty good. And it's an institute. It's a .gov. Both of those things tell me that this is credible. I don't see advertisements at all. Literally no advertisements. That's a really good sign. So as you're going through this in your research, try and find something that doesn't have advertisements on it. Wikipedia. Let's have the Wikipedia chat. Wikipedia, it's not bad. Has information. The only problem with Wikipedia is anybody can come in and edit it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be experts, but this is definitely experts here. And they cite their sources, some of them, although this one doesn't have it. So think about that when you're looking for a credible source. Does the article contain credible sources and cite its sources? So kind of like I was just showing you here, they're kind of citing their sources. The one that I saw that really was, when we come back up here, if I go to that one we were looking at with the kidney, National Institute of Kidney People. If I come down here on the bottom, they're citing their references, and look, it's like an American Thyroid Association. It's this guy. This is their citation page, European Thyroid Association. So look, see if the place that you're getting information from actually is getting their information from somebody who's credible, somebody who spent their entire life working on things. Is the website mainstream or well known? I think we've kind of covered that. And does it match with other websites? If I'm going to all these different websites, I should probably get the same information. If it's telling me, what are common symptoms, and one website is really different than the other ones, that's not something that I probably want to use, or that should raise an alarm bell. If thyroid.org is giving me a lot different information than these other ones here, then I might be like, I'm not quite sure if thyroid.org is going to be my best bet. Finally, blogs can be credible. Depends on the blog. Depends on if it's an expert on the subject. And while domain names are fairly important, that's not everything. There could be a .com that is actually really valuable, or there could be .edus or .govs or .orgs that aren't the best. So while that should be something helpful, it shouldn't be the only thing. If it's in the news, remember, news companies, they must print facts, otherwise it's illegal. But news companies also entertain, so they might embellish or spin the story. Some articles are editorials. That means it's just someone's opinion. So be careful with that one. So that's about it. Ultimately, I want you to think about when you're researching, try to be smart about where you're looking, where you're at. Be skeptical on the information that you're getting. Ask for proof. And in this case, you got to find your own proof. So as you're going forward, do a good job of checking your sources.